I got a compilation of videos to show just how evil some women can be. I try to build to the one who was the most evil. However, the last video clip gives hope to all men. Yes. They might seem nice, sweet and innocent, but they truly only care about themselves. The difference between good and evil is that good cares about others and evil only care about themselves. Now there are different degrees and levels of good and evil, but the following will show some truly disgusting women. So, the question becomes, how do you know if she is no good? Before I can answer this question, we must first look at how evil takes advantage of good people. Both men and women. I knew a girl named Jackie who was in her early 20s at the time. She would hitchhike across the United States alone. I asked her if this is dangerous, and she said no. People always believe that others will do the same things they will do. So if you are a trusting person, you will believe that others can also be trusted. So, the only people who pick me up are people who trust others. People who see the world like you. People who do not trust others will not pick me up because they believe that the hitchhiker might do them harm. I know you hear stories on television about girls being taken advantage of, but when you look deeper into the story, those girls was hanging out with the wrong type of people. And the ones who are not hanging out with the wrong type of people, those are not very common. That is why those stories make the news. The point is that people will believe that others will do the same thing you will do. So when we encounter bad women, we make up excuses for their bad behavior. Such as she was having a bad day. She did not understand. She was naive. The other problem is that we do not recognize red flags because our brains do not operate the same way as these people. And because of this, when we see or hear red flags, we do not see or recognize them. And because we do not recognize red flags, these types of people get away with a lot of shit. But the older we get, the more experience we gain, the more we recognize red flags. This is one of the reasons why many women say that they cannot find a good man after they turn 30. They are not good women, and we men recognize this. As the saying goes, the nice guy gets the girl in the end. But we recognize what we are getting, and we do not want it. So how do you recognize these types of women? People always make mistakes. And we say and do dumb stuff throughout our lives. However, if the girl does something that you would never think about doing, then she is no good. If her explanation is not logical or reasonable, then she is no good. And this can be an everyday disagreement. If she is gaslighting you, means she will always use gaslighting to get her way. Thus, she is no good. If she reacts to a situation or reacts to something she did that was wrong, and her reaction is not similar to how you would react, then she is no good. So you do not have to recognize red flags. All you have to say, is this something you would do? Is this how you would handle the situation? If the answer is no, then leave her alone. I told one of my nephews, how many coincidences before you understand that it is not a coincidence? This is who they are. Plus, if they lie about what happened, or do not tell the complete story, or only tell the parts that makes them look good, or makes accusations without providing any details, this is an admission that they know what they did was wrong. If they did something that was right or correct, then they would not care who knew about it, or they would want everyone to know it all.
I get this message. I married a good Christian girl. Her dad was a pastor at church. We were married for 16 years. We have a beautiful son. But guess what? A few months ago, she told me, I lost feelings for you. I don't love you anymore, and I don't respect you. Packed up her stuff and moved out with a cold look on her face. I never thought in my life that this would happen to me. And especially by marrying a Christian girl, this is pretty sad. It's painful to realize subconsciously that it's over. The conclusion that women are like chameleons. They change color upon circumstances in their favor and take advantage as long as it's beneficial at the moment. They can betray you and lie to you like it's no big thing and normalize the situation in their mind like it's a normal life process. You know, I get stories like that every single day. This was a public comment.
How old are you?
31.
And your ex-husband did what?
He's a doctor. He's a psychiatrist.
And how long ago were you married?
Up until 3 years ago.
How much older was your husband than you?
We'll say 35 years.
So he's 53?
Currently, yes.
Why'd y'all divorce?
My husband got sick with cancer, and that changed him, and it changed the dynamics of our marriage.
Is he in remission?
Yes, he is.
And who filed for divorce?
I did.
Why?
He became mentally, emotionally, and financially abusive.
He took care of you just fine up until he got sick.
Correct.
And then when he was fighting for his life, you became a snowflake. Did you have to work when you were married?
No, but I chose
No, you didn't have to. No. You chose, but you didn't pay no real bills. You didn't have no skills. Knock it off. I'm gonna be honest, ma'am. This is a whole mess. Even the way you're talking, it just sounds like, ugh. And how tall are you?
I'm 5'4",
How much do you weigh?
180.
Goodbye.
Most traumatic thing a man typically experiences with a woman is infidelity. When a man experiences that acute trauma, what that does is that sharpens him. That makes him more aware of the reality of female nature, what women are capable of, what women will do, and that primes him to better deal with women in his future, set boundaries that he didn't set in his first relationship, have standards, have preferences, exhibit those things, demonstrate those things that he probably didn't do, because a lot of men love really naively when they first get into relationships. They think women won't do certain things. They think women aren't capable of doing certain things, and then when that woman does it, it's like, oh shit, like I got cheated on. Oh shit, she fucked me over. Now I know moving forward what to look for in women. That makes him more attractive because now he becomes the guy who's much more hardened emotionally. He becomes the guy who's not scared to tell a woman no. He becomes the guy who's not scared to hold a woman accountable.
I don't want to be in a situation where, for example, and this happens to a lot of dudes, you go on a date with a girl, spend $50, $100, maybe you get a nice dinner or whatever, and then date goes well, she gives you a hug at the end of the date ends at 9 p.m. She then goes over, oh, bear in mind, there's some leftover food, so she got a doggy bag. She took that doggy bag over to the guy's house who she's fucking, who, by the way, never paid for a first date, never took her out. He's just some hot dude who's always 11 p.m. on a Friday. What you doing? Come over. Never had to do any of that traditional courtship, but he's really attractive. He's charismatic or whatever is the attraction trigger for her. She just goes over to his house immediately after the date, gives him the doggy bag of the food that your date just paid for. You give him the food.
I know, but why is this scenario always that the girl is like a hoe? Like there's guys that are hoes too. But
Sure.
You're portraying this whole like, oh, the bitch got a...
So what's your name?
Hannah?
That's cute. Check this out. Look. First of all, do you have a boyfriend by chance?
Yes.
Oh, you do? Well, look, if you tell me the crazy secret, a secret your boyfriend's never found out. And if I find it crazy, I'll give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll give you $100 in cash right now if I find it crazy. If not, I'm walking off and I'm posting your secret. You in or you out?
I'm in.
All right, so what's the secret? What's the secret you kept from your boyfriend? And I don't got that many followers, too, so you can tell me anything.
Okay, so I'm supposed to be in Florida right now, and he gave me the money for a ticket.
Wait, so you're supposed to be in Florida right now?
Yes.
What you doing in LA?
I'm meeting up with the guy that I met off of Bumble.
And you have a boyfriend?
Yes, I have.
So keep going with the story real quick.
So I told him that my grandmother was sick and in the hospital, and I was just like acting really sad over the phone, crying, and he was like, he felt really bad. So I got the money from him, and then I'm here.
Okay, just to recap, she was on Bumble looking for somebody to cheat with. She didn't just happen to randomly, meet this guy. She was specifically on a dating app trying to have an affair. She lied about her grandmother being sick and then faked being emotional, faked crying in front of her boyfriend so that he would feel sorry for her and then give her money so that she could fly not to this fake grandmother who's sick, but to another city so that she could have sex with another man.
First off, let me take that word out of your vocabulary. Settle. Someone is settling for you. Someone raising another man's child is settling for you. See, that is one thing you women got really twisted. Take that out of your vocabulary. You have a child by another man. You are no prize. I'm sorry, man, but that's just the way it is for all women. A man coming to take care of another man's offspring is settling. That's a beta male move. I've done it. You baby mamas got it really twisted. I understand you can love your child and your child is special, but all it is to another man is a damn bill.
And what's the difference?
All right, that's it. Okay. That's it. You're not gonna listen.
to think the child is yours, think you've passed on your genes, but in actuality, this chick could essentially be stealing away your lineage. That's the biggest fucking L a guy can take in life, is raising a child that he thinks is his that actually isn't.
Doing everything he can to provide, protect, provision for a child that's not his.
That's why men care more about this, because as women, if you have a kid, in all situations, you know the kid's yours.
Yeah.
I have been married for 51 years. Got 2 sons, 42 and 40. Damn deadbeats. I'm still supporting the little boogers. Needed to take a test to see if any of us had a kidney good enough for my brother. Found out something interesting. They ain't my kids. There's somebody else's. Of course, the only good thing is, I know it's not my fault that those 2 idiots got dumped into this world. Hell, I thought they took after their mother. Instead, they take after the plumber or the postman or the milkman, or, yeah, there were milkmen back when they came around. I mean, God only knows. It sure gets old. I do wish I knew who the real fathers were, and they ain't the same. She was bopping a couple of different guys. But if I could figure out who they were, I've been practicing law long enough that I pretty well figure I could sue their ass and get all my money back that I sunk into those 2 deadbeats. It just chaps my ass that she couldn't tell me. I'd probably forgiven her. Maybe not. You know how it is. Hell, boys, y'all need to go get your own paternity tests. You can't tell out by looking who's the daddy, unless you're looking down at the genetic level. I've been in court thousands of times in paternity suits, and 4 out of 5 times, guy says he ain't the daddy, he's right. And the genetic tests are the only way to prove it for sure. These women are hopping everything that looks fun. You thought you liked sex. You ain't nothing. Well, I guess that pretty well completes that story. I'll go home, start drafting up some divorce papers, see if I can't get free of that crazy bitch. I mean, I stayed with her for the sake of the children and the grandchildren, now the great-grandchildren. But they ain't no kin of mine. Fuck 'em.
We actually met on dating site Pina Heart.
Yeah.
And by accident, that's the dating site I developed together with some people.
Where are you from, Hans?
I'm from Belgium.
Belgium. And yourself?
I'm from Pampanga.
Pampanga. So you're Filipina, huh?
Yes, I am.
Okay. How long have you 2 been together now?
That's about 2 years, a little bit more than 2 years.
And what's it like dating a Filipina? Tell me some stuff. What makes them so special?
Well, that's a long story. I don't know if it's allowed here to tell long stories.
Yeah, tell whatever you want.
Actually, in a former life, I lived in Russia, and I had already a dating site in '97, and I started to meet with non-Belgian women, let's say, and I saw that foreign women, compared to the Western women, they had a lot of positive values. So, but after, to make it short, after a big divorce, I I have a very good friend who suggested me to go to the Philippines because the women are so nice, so friendly, so open, so warm, and that's how it happens. I met a few people, but then until I met Angelica, I didn't know what real love was.
Look at that. You lived in Russia for a bit, right? How was that like? I'm sure you must have some stories, or let us know.
Oh, I have a lot of stories.
Okay.
We can even make a separate video of that. But in short, I was working in Belgium, in Brussels, very close to the airport, and I saw always these planes flying, and that was in '96, and Russia was not free at a long time. I always wanted to go to Russia. And one day I just quit, took my suitcase, and went there. And I thought maybe I'm back in a few weeks, but at the end I stayed, with a few interruptions, I stayed 15, 20 years.
It's a long time.
Yes.
Speaking of 15, 20 years, is there a big age gap between you guys? How old are you?
I'm 55.
I'm 23.
Wow, so that's a lot, 32 years, I guess.
Yes,
right?
yes. I didn't expect to arrive in this situation, but okay.
Hey, I mean, a lot of men would love to be in your position, so nothing wrong with that, right? Does that create any problems in a relationship, the big age gap? Anything you can't talk about or adjust to, or is there any issues with the age gap?
Personally, there's no real issue. Of course, there are always advantages and disadvantages, but Angelica is quite mature. She's a serious lady. In practice, let's say, we never had any
problems.
Any problems? No.
Yeah, and it's about understanding.
Yeah. So just about communication and understanding, and no problems, right?
And the important thing is you respect each other.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Have you met her family yet?
Yes. I met her mother and her sisters.
Okay. A lot of guys are always a little weary or afraid or scared to meet the families. Tell us a little bit about meeting her family.
I was not afraid at all. On the opposite, I think it's part of the game. You should meet the family to know where she comes from. So that was a positive experience. We had a lot of talk with her mother and her sisters. That was very positive.
Okay. And what about this whole passport bro movement? You come to Asia, like the Philippines, to find women. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I had these questions already when I was living in Russia. And, a lot of people in the West, they think all these women, they want to come to the West. And some want to travel, someone just a little bit better life. But I think in the West, it's my experience and feeling that most women are more eager to get something out of a relationship than in the Philippines, for example.
Yeah.
So let's say she asked already if I didn't want to live here, but for now I prefer to live in Europe. So, but she's not pushing me to also to.
Okay. Have you ever traveled outside the Philippines with your husband?
No, not yet.
Okay. If you can go anywhere, which country do you want to visit?
Which country do you want to visit? I want to go with him in Paris.
Oh, romantic, right? So Paris trip.